No, I thought that was real dope, man. You really see two sides of Marvin. We see the gangster side, which he takes out Sal and a couple of his henchmen in episode 2, and now we see the compassionate side. I'm not sure if anybody remember the show that came on FX called Mr. In Between, which was a great show if you haven't seen it. But, Marvin kind of reminds me of like the black Mr. In Between. It's like he's being a supportive dad, but at the same time, he can get into some gangster stuff. Hey, what's going on, folks? Another episode of Ryan Reviews Everything. I know I'm a little late, but, personal life. Anyway, let's talk about the latest episode of Raising Kanan. This is season 3, episode 3, and it is getting good. For those who this is your first time here, I do tend to jump around a lot. I don't necessarily go in chronological order when recapping the shows. And also, of course, there's going to be some spoiler alerts. So with that being said, I first actually want to give a shout out, not a shout out, but I think kudos is well deserved for Marvin. I think in terms of character development, he's made the most progress. And the reason why I want to give him kudos, on this episode, we definitely see more so the compassion side of Marvin. For example, he actually, gets a phone call from Gerald, the father of Jukebox's girlfriend who passed away a couple seasons ago, or last season. Anyway, gets a phone call about him being down bad from some random junkie, and he finds Gerald, pays off this random junkie, and takes him home. And then also, what I thought was even more compassionate, we actually see Jukebox is still kind of from the previous episode kind of had like this love-hate relationship with music, or felt like she wanted to get out of music. Long story short, she ends up working with Lou and wanting to get back into, this big audition that she heard about thanks to Gerald. And who was there being her number one fan, number one cheerleader? Marvin. Marvin is out there cheering her on, calming her down when Lou, unfortunately, was unable to make it thanks to his own actions, which we'll get into later. But no, I thought that was real dope, man. You really see two sides of Marvin. We see the gangster side, which he takes out Sal and a couple of his henchmen in episode 2, and now we see the compassionate side. I'm not sure if anybody remember the show that came on FX called Mr. In Between, which was a great show if you haven't seen it. But Marvin kind of reminds me of like the black Mr. In Between. It's like he's being a supportive dad, but at the same time, he can get into some gangster stuff. So once again, I think that is a great example of just character development. I'm loving how Marvin has grown throughout the seasons. In terms of other storylines, we definitely can already see that Reggie is going to be a problem. Reggie walking around with his thick glasses and his members only jacket just looks like he's about to cause some terror. We definitely see he gets right into it with the bouncer that gave him a hard time in episode 2, beats him down, steals from him, and he seems like he is just slowly plotting, ready to cause some havoc. So you already see that Reggie's going to be a problem. He's already talking slick about taking Raq out, even though Raq is trying to get out the game. And, and he's saying this to Neek, while they're working out and all this stuff. It was like, I don't care that she out the game. I should have taken out a long time ago. So I'll tell you what, just an early prediction. If he attempts to take Raq out and, somehow fails to do so, maybe Raq gets away or whatever the scenario is, best believe not only is Marvin like a great example of character development, I do also feel like he's the best enforcer out the family. So best believe whenever he shoots at Raq, and I'm gonna predict that he misses, Marvin gonna come by and take him out. That's a prediction. Marvin don't play that. Once again, by far one of my favorite characters on the show. So early prediction. We definitely saw the scene of Reggie finding out where Raq lives, thanks to him telling Neek. So he's gonna go try to get Raq out of there. Marvin's about to clean that up. And that's another thing. He's definitely playing a dangerous game. We see how the episode ends. We see once again with his goofy glasses and the members only jacket. He's out here staring down Kanan and his homeboy Famous. And so yeah, something is really off about Reggie. I don't know. Yeah, maybe we'll get more of a backstory. I don't know if he was like that already going into jail, or did jail just kind of make him that much more of somebody who's just off. So yeah, Reggie's definitely gonna be a problem. We see trouble slowly brewing thanks to things going on with Reggie. Pardon me. In terms of Lou, kind of the opposite, I feel like. I mean, it is definitely another case of character development, but I definitely feel like it's kind of going the opposite direction with Lou. Lou actually was, if I remember correctly, a couple of seasons ago, he was kind of the one that was relied upon the most for certain things. And there's just been this rift between, Raq and Lou as the season progresses. And now we definitely see that Lou is starting to struggle with stuff. Apparently, it seems like he has a drinking problem where he drinks too much and he starts getting into fights or, getting very combative. We saw that in episode 2 as well. He's combative with the waiter who dropped something thanks to Lou bumping into him. And then we definitely see, Lou, punching out somebody who has a problem with these Dials Effects knockoffs on stage. So Lou definitely has a drinking problem. He definitely, which was kind of random, he definitely makes like this random connection with this bar owner at this hole-in-the-wall cafe or bar. And I don't know, from what I got from that dialogue after he came back and apologized for the fight with the lady, I don't know, it sounds like he's going to be like a glorified bouncer / partner of this lady and help, spruce up this music scene in her club. So that was kind of random, and they have this connection thanks to, this lady really knowing her father very well in terms of his musical legendary reputation or whatever. So I don't know what to make of it. I definitely think Lou is definitely an interesting storyline as these seasons go. And that's the thing, in terms of hustle and bustle, Kanan is finally getting this carrier service off the ground, and finding a way to make money. He still is all, similar to Lou, that relationship has kind of been getting more and more severe in terms of the relationship between Raq and Kanan. But Kanan is actually making money. He seems like, he must be paying, everyone is eating, thanks to this mastermind plan that Kanan has. So there's that. And of course, who knows, man? It might be a point where if the business is doing that good, maybe he ends up getting a place of his own, because he really wasn't a big fan of Famous letting Raq into their apartment and actually accepting money. I could definitely see a scenario where Kanan runs into Raq and purposely gives Raq, the money back because he just wants to be his own man. But we'll see. And we'll end it off with Detective Howard. Seems like it's kind of getting out of the frying pan into the fire. He thought everything was wiped clean. Now that he made the downfall of Detective Burke look like she unalived herself, but her partner, who was also like a detective, is still keeping his internal affairs investigation open. I don't know, man. I'm getting this type of energy that Malcolm may have to take her out as well. That's what I'm getting at. He's trying to talk her off the ledge, like, hey, man, just let Burke rest in peace, blah, blah, blah. Ain't no need for this internal investigation. But, of course, she's not going to just do all that. So we'll definitely see how that goes as well, man. I really love this episode. Once again, I am most impressed with the character development from Marvin. I do feel sorry for Lou, but it definitely seems like, I don't know, there's something that seems like that's going in the backwards direction with Lou's you know, I guess what, ranking in the family and just whatever. Like he's seems like he's gonna go through it, but hopefully, who knows? This bar thing may be something that can give him another purpose, since it seems apparent that the studio he can no longer go there for whatever reason. So yeah, man, I'm really enjoying the show. I can't wait to see how the rest of the season turns out. Once again, I am crossing my fingers that there will be some type of, you know, conflict or run-in between Ronnie and Marvin. That's what I'm banking on. Let me know what you think about the episode. And hey, if you agree or disagree with my take, leave it in a comment. Love it or hate it. Peace.